So why being a paladin in classic would be awesome. Gameplay. Okay, so while as a paladin you might not have a lot of offensive abilities, but hey, whoever said that was a bad thing? Because, you know, while everyone else is on edge to press their abilities, you as paladin can spend your time doing other shit, you know, such as typing awesome one-liners while in combat, defeating them like you're in CSI Miami. No, but for realsies now, since you don't have as many offensive, you basically only have one straight up damage ability while leveling, and that is Judgment. Later on, you get Hammer of Wrath, which is an execute, so that's awesome, but while leveling, basically only Judgment. Now let's get back to it. You can spend your time using potions or your other abilities, your support abilities, you know, buffing others, using the bubble to become immortal for a little while. At the same time, you know, just killing enemies with your simple auto attack and hopefully some RNG luck. Because luck and one of your main abilities, Seal of Command, goes hand in hand. Mad rhymes, no, but okay, let me explain. Seal of Command is your bread and butter as a DPS paladin. What it does is, it gives the paladin, you, a chance to deal additional holy damage equal to 70% of your weapon damage. But the thing is, it can't proc very often, so what you want to do to get the most damage out of it is to get a hard hitting, slow ass weapon, so that the damage proc will be super high, and pray to Lady Luck, because if you got a super solid weapon, you could end up one-shotting people, or it won't proc and you will just sort of, you know, whack at them. So that's pretty exciting gameplay in my opinion, but it's not very well. Okay, let's move on. It really is the most unique playstyle, and perhaps a little bit whack, but it's charming in its own way. So now for, you know, raiding and more stuff like that. Not gonna lie, DPS Red Paladin is not the best spot. I reckon you already knew that perhaps. Most raid groups want you as a heal, and if that's something you're interested in, then hey, great. But if you're like me, and you mainly want to focus on red, that isn't where you're gonna shine the brightest. But instead, PvP and duels is where you'll be truly dazzling. Now, excuse me. Now this is a personal one for me, because I love dueling so goddamn much. And as Paladin, you'll be super solid in them, because sure, doing damage can be a bit unreliable at times, but the thing you get going for you is that you will be so goddamn enduring. Like how a star just won't stop shining, you as Paladin have heals and defensive cooldowns that will be able to keep you going for so long that you, just like Captain America, will be able to do this all day.
I could do this all day.
I hope you sort of get what I'm trying to say here, because as Paladin, it's important to understand that it's not about how hard you hit. No.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Damn right. Okay, but not gonna lie, one thing that is also worth noting is that Palis are quite gear dependent. So at first, you might not kick everyone's ass, but if you stick to it, if you stick to the Pally way, you can, in the end, become a dueling champion. That's a nice title. Yeah, so okay, now we're done with that. Let's move on to my next point. Nice stuff. Okay, so something that is awesome as a paladin is that, hey, you don't have to sell your kidney to afford your very first mount. Since as an awesome paladin, you get your first mount through a simple quest, which is pretty cool. So while your friends might be begging in the streets for gold for their first mount, you'll be riding in style by the time you reach level 40. So that's pretty cool. Now, the level 60 mount, the epic mount, is a bit of a different story. Since unlike the level 40 mount, this is gonna cost you a bit of gold and time. Since this mount is the reward of a quest chain. But the shining horse that is your reward is quite a dazzling looking mount, and those aren't easy to come by in vanilla. Damn, that's a nice horse. But yeah, another thing that I really like is that, you know, it's kind of a personal thing. a lot of people won't really get it, but being an underdog is awesome. And the tale of the leveling Paladin is a true underdog story, man. Since, you know, some people out there will give you shit for playing a Paladin as, you know, ret or anything other than a buff bot. So it will be all up to you to prove them how wrong they are, because then when you surpass everyone's expectations, it's glorious, man. So yeah, but that's a personal one for me. I get that everyone doesn't like that, but you know, the greater challenge, if you overcome that, you come out even stronger. You know, some pally motivation right there. But hey, let's move on to the next point. Okay, so this point is perhaps more for the lore interested, or the guys and gals who care a lot about their class fantasy, like me. But as a Paladin, you basically have the best lore of any of the classes. You're like the World of Warcraft equivalent of a Jedi. So that's pretty awesome.
Easy.
Paladin!
Let's go back to your drinks.
Or you know, how I like to see it. As a Paladin, you're a superhero. Because a Paladin is a symbol of hope, who in my opinion should be saving others in Stringthorn Vale from evil underdrogs. And you know, why would you be saving others? Why would you do this? Well,
Because that's what heroes do.
that's right. So that is what she could be as a Paladin, of course. Yeah, so I hope I've inspired you to roll a Paladin, or at least, you know, given you my reasons for why I think Paladins are awesome, and why they will be awesome in Classic. So now you better feel the call of the High Lord in your heart, man.
Welcome, champions. You have heard the call of the Argent Crusade, and you have boldly answered.
No. Or maybe. Seriously, it's all up to you. And I know that the class is definitely not for everyone. But if you enjoy a sort of wacky gameplay, and you really like the awesome class fantasy, it's one of the better choices. Let's just say that. And hey, if you watch this far, maybe Paladin is indeed the class for you. With that said, it would be awesome to see you out there as a Paladin, but it would be awesome seeing you there anyways. So have an awesome day and I'll see you around. Oh, by the way, if you're still not convinced, I'm gonna wear you down. No, you should watch the Asbringer video. It's an awesome video that really shows how cool Terrain Forging and the Asbringer are. So, goodbye and have an awesome day.